Teenagers engage in more risky driving behavior, including distracted driving, than any other age group. Teens having strict restrictions engage in less risky driving behavior. It can be hard to start the conversation about your teens driving, but talking with them early on about limiting distractions is one of the most important things you can do to help them drive safely. Many people consider texting and driving as the main risk for a teen, but there are many other types of distractions that can increase their risk of crash as well. Behaviors that take the driver's eyes off the road or that take their mind and focus away from driving pose a risk of crash. Some examples include reaching for something in the car, listening to loud music, eating, reading, removing a jacket, applying makeup, texting or checking messages, talking on a cell phone, listening to or talking with passengers, and looking at something outside of the vehicle. Preparing to drive means doing these kinds of activities only when the vehicle is parked and not moving. According to a large study of teen driving by AAA, nearly 60% of teen crashes involve a form of distraction. Students who self-reported that they texted or emailed while driving were also more likely to report doing other risky behaviors, such as not always wearing a seatbelt. They were more likely to ride with a driver who had been drinking alcohol, and they were more likely to drive after drinking alcohol. CDC's Youth Risk Behavior Surveillance System monitors self-reported health risk behaviors among U.S. high school students, including texting or emailing while driving. A study analyzing data from the 2019 survey revealed the following. In 2019, 39% of high school students who drove in the past 30 days reported that they texted or emailed while driving on at least one of those days. Texting or emailing while driving was more common among older students than younger students and more common among white than black or Hispanic students. Texting or emailing while driving was as common among students whose grades were mostly A's or B's as among students with mostly C's, D's, or F's. Research has shown that even talking on a cell phone, whether or not it is hands-free, takes your teen's mind off the road and slows reaction time to unexpected things that can happen during a drive that result in a crash. Importantly, teens are 4 times more likely to crash when distracted. However, you can stop this behavior. Prohibit cell phone use while driving and include it in a parent-teen driving agreement. Also, results of an AT&T survey showed that 57% of drivers would stop using their phone behind the wheel if asked by a friend. To reduce your teen's risk of crash, teach your teen the dangers of distracted driving. When you are in the vehicle together, point out examples and talk about behaviors that take your focus off the road. Then be clear about your expectations for how they are to limit distractions when they become an independent driver. Also, ask your teen to remind passengers of ways they can help the driver remain focused by navigating for the driver and keeping quiet during the ride. Intersections are especially dangerous for young drivers and pose a very high risk to those driving distracted. The many types of intersections, from single traffic lights to highway entrance and exit ramps to complex traffic circles, each posing a heightened risk of crash. Successful navigation of intersections requires the use of mirrors, eye scanning, and timing the vehicle's speed to match the flow of traffic. The driver needs to limit distractions to remain alert and focused. If you fail to model the driving behaviors you want your teen to follow, they will eventually copy the risky behaviors learned from watching you. Driver's education begins the moment you turn the car seat around. Your young child will imitate your habits when they eventually become a driver. In addition to establishing a Checkpoints Parent-Teen Driving Agreement, consider requiring your teen to install one of the many cell phone apps that restrict usage while the vehicle is moving, and/or automatically set Do Not Disturb messages to others while your teen is driving. The University of Michigan Injury Prevention Center developed this video for parents based on evidence-based content and expertise from the CDC, from Checkpoints and Evidence-Based Intervention, and these other sources.